Oh, I thumbed it all right. And we're live. And I'm sure everybody heard that.
What a way to start the episode.
All right. Well, hey, it's a heck of a way. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 26th episode of the Game Dosage Podcast. It's your favorite intergalactic gaming badass fiend Invader here. And hey, as you can tell, there's been a change in scenery. Glitcher's away for the evening, as well as other panel members, Primal Eve and Stinking Corpse. But hey, we've got a stellar show and a stellar lineup going on with a few awesome guests and some interesting topics. One of our guests, Trinity Warrior, will be here shortly. She's just taking some time coming in. And hey, first up, we've got our special guest, first time on the show and first time doing a podcast ever, the Thunder from Down Under, Mr. Ashtray Gaming. How are you doing, bud?
Woo! I'm doing really well, guys. How are you? Having fun?
I'm good, brother.
Fun? Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good. Happy to be here, guys. Great cast. I've spoken to New a few times on Xbox Live, but it's first time for the rest of you guys, and I'm really looking forward to it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I got that right. Love that energy. Well, next up, a man that never fails to make an entrance, much like the Kool-Aid Man, Mr. Noof Nukem. How you doing, bro?
Boom, boom, kaboom. It's Noof Nukem. It's Monday evening. I'm back in the room. We got your prescription for your gaming addiction. Sit back and hold on to your pantyhose. This is going to be a good show. Like he said, we are down a couple of panel members, but we got a couple of pretty smooth criminals going on up in here. We got Ashtray Gaming, so it's glad that he could come and hang out with us, even though he's way down under. So it's always a pleasure that he could be here. And like I said, it's going to be an honor to have Trinity Warrior because she's been a great community supporter. Hopefully she gets here shortly. Yeah, but we miss our regular people. Hopefully they all get back here sooner than later. But yeah, it is going to be a good show. We got some pretty good topics to jump into. So I'll leave it at that. The diving board is hot. Let's dive in.
Yeah. All right. Next up, our favorite shadowy ninja, Jago.
What's up, brother? It's your favorite. Can't make up his mind whether he's good or bad because he's Jago and Shadow Jago. I am in the chat. I am in the podcast. Let's go, baby. I'm ready to go. Come on.
Somebody's ready.
Oh, man. I love the energy there. Dang, somebody had their Red Bull before the show.
Woo! That they did.
All right. And last but certainly not least, the next panel member, the Diabolic, the Red Menace, Mr. Proto Foxy.
Yes, the Red Menace has been rewired, hardwired, and I'm ready to go. I was absent last week, and it made me sad, but now I'm back. Let's get this going.
Nice. Let's go.
Very nice, very nice. And yeah, everybody, don't forget, we do have a giveaway going on. If we hit 300 live viewers, we have a console giveaway, a console of your choice when we hit 300 live viewers. So definitely share this out, get the word out, and yeah, get the more the merrier in. And yeah, you know, hey, who doesn't want to win a console, right?
No
exactly.
shit.
Just like I hashtagged it before we come in. No free console for Proto Foxy. Share it out and hit 300. Let's do this.
Let's do that, man.
Great. You know what? I'd say one of us has a better chance of going to a concert and punching 300 people in the face.
Well, if you go to a Pro Mag show.
All right, so share, people. Now, on to tonight's first topic. So, a very interesting piece of news dropped earlier today. In an interview with Eurogamer, lead designer for Overwatch, Jeff Kaplan, expressed interest in cross-platform play for the game Overwatch, stating that we're super excited about what's going on with cross-play in all sorts of games, and that we are constantly in discussions with first parties, Microsoft and Sony, to see where they're at and gauge the temperature is at. So even Xbox's Mike Ybarra chimed in on Twitter and said, yeah, let's do it. So panel members, what do you make of this? Do you think Overwatch crossplay will come to fruition soon for Xbox and PlayStation? Now, I'm going to start with our very esteemed guest from Down Under, Mr. Ashtray. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, look, man, I think it's inevitable, really. It's Sony just might delay it or just take their time in making a decision. But I really do think that it will happen. Everyone's I've heard really anyone against it. It's a no-brainer to me. What do you guys think?
Do you play Overwatch at all, or?
No, I actually haven't. My internet that it can drop out at times, and I have trouble. So once I get better internet, things like multiplayer be much more enjoyable. So,
oh, totally. I get where you're at with that. Like after me upgrading my internet from last year, oh, big difference. I was able to enjoy a lot more. So I totally get where you're coming from, Ashtray. Noof, how do you feel about this? What are your thoughts?
Hey man, it's a good topic, but it's a short topic, much like my sex life. So look, it is. It's like he said, it's kind of inevitable. A lot of games are going to go this route, especially the big games, the ones that are too hard to ignore. Now, I'm not a big Overwatch fan. I've never even played the game, so that's why I'm probably not going to jibber jabber too long on the topic. But I mean, it is a hugely popular game. Even today, it's still one of the most streamed games online. It's obviously found an audience. As a matter of fact, I was just flicking through sports channels today, and I never thought I'd see this, but I'm on Canadian Sports Network today, and they actually had the Overwatch Gaming Championships on a major sports network, and I thought that was quite interesting because I'm like, man, video games have really turned the corner now that, like, a major network is actually showing a game tournament. Think about that for a minute. You know what I mean? I mean, poker was kind of hot for a few years, and then it kind of fit, but this is video gaming on a sports network. Again, think about that. So that was kind of cool. And yeah, crossplay is kind of inevitable. And obviously, in order for it to be truly successful, they need to get the PlayStation on board. They have a large target audience. They got a lot of people playing on that platform. So, I mean, now that, they've opened up and let Fortnite out of the bag, so to speak, that anything is technically possible. But, I mean, that's about as much as I can really say on it. I think we're going to see this trend continue in the future, especially next gen. A lot of games, I think, will have the cross-play implications. Those will be, right from the get-go for a lot of successful franchises, especially sequels. So it's a great ground-setting thing. And just for them to come out and say that is huge. And Mike Ibarra is obviously on board as he's, shown support for the game and for cross-play through Twitter, I think, today. So it's a good sign for things to come. Let's just hope that everybody plays nice.
Yep. Yeah, you got that right, my friend. Proto Foxy, what are your thoughts on this? And do you even play Overwatch or played it at all?
I'm going to end up being like Noof here, man. I really don't play Overwatch. I mean, I've checked it out here and there, but nothing crazy. But, it's just, again, like everybody's saying, this is inevitable at this point, man. I mean, we were all talking about it where it was in its real infancy, where like PlayStation wasn't playing nice and all of that. And now all of a sudden everybody's getting excited. More games are jumping on board. Everybody's getting into it now. And it just makes sense at this point. And even to riff off of what Noof had said there for a second, where he tuned into a Canadian channel, sports channel, and they were showing Overwatch being played professionally. I mean, that's really a big thing when you think about it. Because you don't, at least I haven't seen it in the States. I don't really tune into ESPN all that often or anything like that, but I would be very hard pressed to think that ESPN is doing that, right? But the whole thing is it's huge, and now that you got crossplay kind of picking up steam a bit, maybe you'll see more competitions where it would be like, okay, it's the same game, but now you got Sony versus Microsoft and, bragging rights kind of stuff. And I think that that's really kind of cool too, that thought process.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And Overwatch, like, it's one of the biggest games, like, the past couple of years. It's sold huge. It's covered in esports. Like you said, it was on, like, news stations, sports stations, and it has such a huge following. And if crossplay were to come to this, it would just totally like expand it even more, in my opinion. Jago, what are your thoughts on this? And have you ever played Overwatch?
Oh, I've played Overwatch, man. I'm not a current Overwatch player, let's say that, but I have it. The times I have played it, I've really enjoyed it. I'm not a huge multiplayer guy. I mean, I am and I'm not. It depends, and we all have our opinions. Let's be honest. It depends on the game. But Overwatch is only multiplayers. But I've enjoyed my time with it every time I've played it. Depends on the character I'm playing with. I'm a big fan of that guy. He looks like been so long since I played Overwatch. He looks like Death. He's got the two twin pistols or whatever his name is. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. But crossplay, honestly, I think it's the way to go. I mean, I think it's important going into the future, just the way technology and everything's moving. Everybody wants to be connected, and be able to. If you keep a option away from people, you're going to cause yourself more harm than good at the end of the day. Personally, myself, when I'm playing multiplayer, say Overwatch or any other multiplayer game, I'm an Xbox guy. Am I worried about am I playing with PlayStation guys? Fuck no, I ain't worried about playing with PlayStation guys or PC guys. That's not my thinking. And today I'm enjoying playing with the community on the box I'm on because I don't play PC. I don't do PC games. And when I'm playing Xbox, I'm not worried about playing on PlayStation. But at the end of the day, it's 2018 and people want options and more options are better. And Microsoft has got that going for them. And it's a good thing at the end of the day. At the end of the day, but it depends on who you are, who you ask, if they really give a shit about it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't hate the PC master race, bro. Come on.
But I don't think anyone options more. So choice is what we all want. That's why there's so many genres of games out there. No one's going to say no to options, man.
No, more options are better. But you as a personal, it depends on the individual whether they give a shit about them. But at the end of the day, like I said, and like you just said, options. More options are better, less options suck, and will keep that person from or certain people from buying into your platform.
For sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'll admit I haven't played Overwatch myself, but I've watched it extensively, and over years I never thought that it would get as big as it did. But of course, it's a Blizzard game.
Oh man,
of course, it would be huge marketing behind it, right?
It's actually a pretty good time. You need to try it. I mean, at least once, Invader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been meaning to, like, whenever they do those like free play weekends and whatnot. I know they've had it before.
Yeah,
they have. And it's tempting, and like I'm not huge on the whole hero-based shooters, but hey, it works, and a lot, it has a huge fan base. So hey, you know what? I'll give it a shot one of these days. Why not, right?
Mm-hmm. You should.
Yeah, the only shooter like that I've actually played has been Paladins. I picked it up on the Switch because it was free, and I decided just to give it a shot. I think they're kind of similar games, but I thought I'd give Paladins a shot because it was free and it was on the Switch, and the Switch doesn't have an abundance of shooters right now, so that's the only reason I even tried.
I actually picked that up too, Noof, but I never on the Xbox because I think that was free too on Xbox, and I never played it.
Yeah, it's not too bad actually. I played a little bit the other night there. So I mean, if you do have a Switch or something, and you're looking for something to scratch the itch, maybe pick up Paladins. It is very Overwatch-esque. I think it definitely borrowed a lot of themes from that game.
Yeah.
First-person shooter, but yeah. Anyway, I don't want to go off topic, but if you guys do have a Switch, maybe download that ad and maybe we can play around.
No, I recommend any of you guys who have not played Overwatch at least one time, try it out, because I was the same way. I tried it, and it actually got me. If it wasn't for other games that was more interested in, I'd probably still be playing Overwatch more than I am now. It's worth a try, though.
All right, and they keep releasing characters for it too. I mean, what was it the other day?
They got the female Ash, the Creed, the Western character.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they're doing good, just constantly releasing more characters and content for the game. Really good sign, obviously.
If you're a huge multiplayer guy, you should at least try it out.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And with crossplay, I mean, obviously Xbox is all in on this. PlayStation, who knows yet? But apparently they're in talks anyways, Blizzard and the big, the first parties. So, I mean, this is just, it's better. It's like a win-win situation, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, moving on. Let's see here. Next topic. So recently, Xbox One owners have been treated to the Fallout 76 beta. And with every beta, there are expected issues, whether it be glitches, bugs, or just content not being accessible. I mean, usually there's some kind of issue, especially in a Bethesda game, no less. But there's been a lot of upset players testing it out, talking about like a lot of empty spaces, a lack of diverse missions, and so on, along with like other gripes. Is Fallout 76 in trouble before it releases, or is it just the usual for a beta? Should we be concerned at all? And first, I'm going to start off with Mr. Noof Nukem. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, this is this is another topic here that I don't use them at a lot for words. That's a rarity for new. Fuck. Either. The energy drink hasn't kicked in yet.
What is new quiet?
Fallout 76. Look, first off, I got to state that one, I'm not a huge Fallout fan. To be honest with you, like I've played little bits and pieces of all the other games, but I've never even completed one. So that's the first scenario. So I'm not as excited as say a Fallout 4 fan might be for this game. After watching, so originally I was a little bit excited, especially at the prospect of playing this game with friends, and there is still a chance that I might pick this up. But I think it's a wait and see for me because so far I've heard a few negatives. I've heard how the game feels very barren. There's not a lot of interactions and stuff like that. So I have not played the beta, and it's hard for me to judge it or say a lot on it when I really haven't digged in. But some people seem to be liking it. I've heard some people say they're not so much, and it seems like the reception right now is kind of bordering on the lukewarm market. Some people have mooched copies apparently, or getting ready to get them. So
yeah.
Great for you guys who always seem to have a guy show up and throw you free games. Hard to complain about free anything, but I sit on that one, man. Like I don't know how I feel. I'd have to see more of it, and I don't even see the point in playing the beta and kind of ruining anything because it could leave a bad taste in my mouth. But as I mentioned right at the start, I'm not the biggest Fallout fan, so unless I got a bunch of friends on board who really say this game is the be-all, end-all. Right now, I've just got so many games to play. I can't see me kind of putting everything aside to just waste time, or I wouldn't say waste time, but invest a lot of time into this world that I'm not overly interested in to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And I understand that. I have Fallout 4, for example, and I even have all the DLC. In fact, I'm still going through that DLC right now as we speak. I'm getting through my grind. My library, and I'm trying to finish that all off. And I really enjoy Fallout 4, but it has a very defined world, and I think a lot of people are lukewarm about Fallout 76 because of that whole online nature. And while you might have a big world, there's no NPCs to interact with. I don't think there's any like dialogue trees at all, and you're just basically relying on the always online aspect, right, for interacting with other players. And a lot of people are just, I find it to be a lot of people are turned off by that when it comes to Fallout 76, and they just don't know how to react to it. And the beta impression so far is, like you said, they're lukewarm to it because it's just a different nature to what Fallout is. Mr. Ashtray Gaming, what are your thoughts on Fallout 76? Are you interested? Have you played it? And what are your concerns?
All right. Well, straight off the bat, I'm not a big Fallout fan, so
nice.
This is going really well, but I'm not a big fan of it, like Noof. But I'm always willing to give games a go. I actually got a beta code a few days ago, but it takes so damn long to download on my side that I haven't ended up booting it up. But
it'll be ready in January.
Yeah, exactly. This reminds me a lot of how Steve is sort of spoken about or treated when it first as a beta. Just lack of content, just not much happening. People are sort of wondering, well, what am I? And these companies need to at least have enough content in their games to keep. I can understand being things like that. But having no NPCs is pretty weird. And if it's going to be released where there's really none of that, but it's P2P, at least have more P2P during the game, so you can actually, meet up with, say, I could meet up with, say, Noof, and we could, aim together and do what we need to do. But without that kind of stuff, it falls flat, and people, word of mouth still sells better than anything else. Say, the game sucks, there's nothing people shy away from, and it can. So I think they need to take more care, and if they're going to release stuff, they need to make sure there's enough to have at least positive reactions to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think out like a porn star penis.
There it is.
Well, you know what? In a way, I think there's like a Sea of Thieves thing going on here too, because a lot of people are concerned with, going to be concerned with griefing. Like, let's say you're getting together with a few pals, you're doing, whether it be some kind of a mission, a fetch quest, so on, and then a whole bunch of people just start, bugging the crap out of you and steamroll you in like power armor, and then like it's just not fun, right? And that's not like Fallout already has kind of a defined world to it. People are used to like the general, like if you've ever played a Fallout game, I know some of you haven't, but just like people are just used to, being on their own and being the lone survivor themselves. And then now you're dealing with all this other BS. So I'm not sure you're going to get the full Fallout experience. I realize that this is a completely new take, but it might detract from the Fallout universe and experience. Jago, what are your thoughts, pal? And have you ever played Fallout at all?
Oh God, don't even get me started with fucking Fallout.
I'm gonna be the odd guy out in the room tonight, man. I'm telling you.
Well, Fallout, it wasn't even on my radar. Let's be honest. I've always been a multi-console owner, and you can't play every freaking game. And I've worked for the past almost 20 years. Almost 12 to 14 hours a day, sometimes 7 days a week. I've done 45 days straight. So I missed out on a lot of shit. But I've been gaming, if you know my history, I've been gaming since 1985. And I've started on the Atari, and I've had every console on the man. But I've missed out on a lot of games. Like, I played Mass Effect Andromeda, the first one, but I never played the second, the next two. But I missed. Well, I say I didn't miss, but I saw Fallout, and it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't on my radar because the games I was interested in at the time, it didn't look like it was the type of game I was interested in. So the first Fallout I actually tried was Fallout 4. I gave it a good, say, 8 hours, and my old lady was watching me play it, and I had to stop because the word trash ran across my mind, and I was like, trash.
Jeez.
Trash.
Please don't hold back, Jago. Don't hold back.
Hold back. I told Fallout, I was like, I do not understand why these fanboys, are so into Fallout, because I gave Fallout 4 such like 8 to 10 hours, and then I was so bored because the mechanics and everything about the game. The graphics looked okay. But everything about the game, it was so boring. You're waking up in a fucking vault, and you're coming outside. Go take a piss. Build a fucking robot. I'm like, what the? Go pick. I'm like, well, this game. What the fuck am I playing right now? Get out of here. Stop playing this shit. And I've never looked back. And then I saw Fallout 76. Let's be honest. At E3, the trailer looked amazing. A pre-rendered trailer looked fucking amazing. But that's the best looking part about the game from what I've seen, because the gameplay I've seen, and I didn't play the beta because I'm not interested in fucking Fallout. Not after 4, no, I knew better. And the game, and there's a lot of people saying the game looks like a PS3 game. It's fucking true. The game looks like shit. It looks like shit. And then I'm hearing all these criticisms where there's no NPCs. The hit detection is shit. I'm like, thank God I avoided that fucking bullet, and I'm not interested in that shit. For for you guys, and I'm not knocking you. You know, there's some people that may not be interested in Gears or Halo, or let's say like I love fighting games. You may not be into that. For you guys that love Fallout, I'm not knocking you, but it's not my type of thing. And if you're disappointed by the Fallout 76 beta, and me not being a Fallout guy and looking and seeing it looks like shit, I understand your gripes. I understand that, and it sucks that it was so hyped up at E3 and it's not really delivering on what it was supposed to be. That sucks, man. But for me, I don't give a shit. I'd dodge the bullet on that one.
I don't know. Fastback might have some words for you there, Jago. Have you seen him in the chat?
No, I'm not looking.
I would hope so. Hating on Fallout.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's
got them, and nobody wants to hear about them.
I definitely have to agree with
You got a lot
Jago.
of
Hours. I played a few hours of Fallout 4, and I couldn't get into it either. So
yeah,
I'm in the same boat, man.
See? I'm vindicated. Thank you.
I don't know what it is. I got into Fallout 4. I mean, I wasn't into Fallout 3. I honestly did not really care for Fallout 3 at all. The first couple of minutes I was like, yeah. But Fallout 4, I mean, even though it was similar, I got into it. I liked the world. But we agreed to disagree.
Like Supersonic State's been saying Red Dead Redemption 2 is putting him to sleep, because I love Super. Don't get me wrong, he's a good guy. But he's saying riding the horse is putting him to sleep. I'm like, how the fuck? But that's what it felt like to me, fucking coming out of the vault and like you making coffee and running around, like doing all the stupid. I'm like, no, I'm done.
Well, you see, it's the horse balls when they jangle back and forth. They hypnotize you. That's why.
That's how they get you.
Because Super's riding the horse backwards. I got it.
I watch you ride the horse later, and I guarantee you she won't be sleeping.
All right, Proto Foxy, what are your thoughts on this whole Fallout 76 beta? And have you seen the concerns? And have you ever played a Fallout game? Are you looking forward to Fallout 76?
First off, I'm going to just have my beer and cry in the corner because all y'all hate Fallout. I'm actually a very big Fallout fan. I've played through 3, I've played through New Vegas, and I've played through 4. I loved them all.
All right.
I'm actually and even now, I'm really excited for 76 because first off, let's start this conversation at the obvious point. This is a beta.
Yes, I've heard that argument too, man. A lot of people say it's a beta. Don't trash it.
It is a beta. You are basically becoming a game tester at this point. So yes, there are going to be bugs. There are going to be flaws. Now, the concerns, some of them are valid, especially coming from a Fallout fan. No NPCs? Yeah, I get that. That's not the world that Fallout fans are used to. But Fallout 76 is going to be a different kind of experience. It's that whole always online, you're interacting with other players, this and that. Now, people that are griping, oh, well, that's not the Fallout world, lone survivor, blah, 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 blah. Fallout, you interacted with NPCs. You aren't the lone survivor. You may have been the lone player, but you were not the lone survivor.
Proto, as a fan of Fallout, like the only one other than the Invader on the panel, where did I see it? Where's it at? Oh, damn it. I can't find it now. Shit. Who asked
Find it? We'll come back to it. But
no. Born Distracted. He said a beta so close to release. Ain't you? I mean, it's like fixing to come out and all these issues. And trust me, I have no dog in this fight. But he asked a good question. Ain't there? Do you have any concerns about it, like all the people talking shit about it, and if you can experience any like saying like shit, negative shit in the beta, aren't you concerned about it being the way it is this close to release?
Well, the thing is okay, you would be concerned, but these concerns are always voiced when, because again, this is a beta. Yes, it's close to release, but these concerns are going to get voiced, and the whole, isn't the whole intent of a beta to actually kind of get these concerns aired out and then fixed? I mean, last I checked, at least that's what that was. I mean, I'm not trying to be like combative on it. Don't get me wrong, But that's what I'm saying. It's like that's the purpose of a beta. That anytime they open one of these up, it's like, okay, I just think, and I'll sum it up because I won't go point to point because I could go on forever at this point. I won't. To sum it all up, to me anyway, it's like, yeah, there are some valid concerns. But then again, people also have to realize that Fallout 76 is not being it's definitely it's a game that's set in the Fallout universe, but it's not being marketed as the next, like stepping point in the storyline. This is a different experience.
What I think,
do you think that makes it an issue of the do you think it's the amount of content? So that it's buggy, or are people really sort of complaining that there's no content? Because I don't care if it's buggy, if it's a beta or an alpha, yeah, I can understand that bugs are going to be, but the fact that there's like not much content, that is my gripe.
Yeah, and that is definitely a valid concern, but I think what a lot of people are taking away as far as the content argument goes, Ashtray, is that there again, the whole the thing I see most on all of this is the big NPC thing. Like, people are used to having that. Again, being a Fallout fan and playing through the Fallout games, you're interacting with people. Fallout, a lot like the Elder Scrolls stuff is, it's an RPG. It's a first person RPG.
But I think reason the question was asked too is Born is trying to ask. The question is because a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but sometimes we've seen these betas, to come out and like either 10 days before launch or a month before launch, and then people are trashing the beta, and then when it comes out, the game when it finally releases is still the same way. I think that's why,
and that is also a valid concern. I mean, that could very well be. For me, I'm not all that concerned, being that it is a beta. And the whole thing is when and especially the article that Invader had dropped in the DMs, when you read it, all the concerns were more about the game, the game itself as far as the content it's providing, and not so much game-breaking bugs and this and that. Because if you go through the article, there wasn't a lot of that. There wasn't a lot of game-breaking bugs. There wasn't a lot of game crashes and stuff like that. There were some things that did happen, but it wasn't as often as a lot of people even expected.
And I'm not giving you shit. I'm just asking you as a Fallout fan.
Oh, no. I understand that, totally. I get that.
Yeah,
and
I'm trying to get your perspective.
Right. And I totally get that. But that's the thing. I think a lot of the gripes are coming from the fact that the content that Fallout 76 is providing at this point, not that it's not their traditional Fallout experience.
Yeah.
I think that's what has a lot of the Fallout fans up in arms.
Yeah.
What does the chat think? Does the chat think a number 1 for glitches or 2 for lack of content? Let's just see what they have to say.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah.
Let's see what the chat thinks.
And if Daz is there, hang on. Beer.
Fucking beer.
What's up, Michael? Daz? Whenever you stop in to listen to this after you wake up, beer. But let's be honest, though.
Beer.
Like proto. I guess the thing is, like, we all come to expect Bethesda games to be glitchy too, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that was a big thing in the article that shocked me, being that this is a Bethesda game, and they were saying that it wasn't glitches or bugs that were the issue. It was just more the content in itself. And I'm like, let's look at it from the winning part of it, the positive side of the argument. The game is running halfway decently, with the exception of a few bugs that were to be expected. You're not getting the traditional Bethesda glitch fest.
Exactly.
We've got a few 2s in the chat there, so it looks like content.
Yeah, see, that's
the issue, or the main gripe.
Yeah, and see, that's what I took away from the article, and a lot of the gripes I'm just seeing is it's content. It's not the actual game itself as far as it running.
Yeah.
Either way, it can be. So that's not a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't worry about the game too much at the end of the day because, I mean, first of all, it's Bethesda behind it, right? It's a big studio, lots of money, plenty of support, and a very popular franchise. And it may be a much similar scenario to Sea of Thieves, some people are alluding to in the chat, where this game isn't fully realized until maybe a year or two down the road. You know, as long as people buy this game and continue to play it, you know, I have no doubts that Bethesda will continue to support it. And, you know, it might be a different beast. You know, like I said, 6 months to a year from now, it's composed where it might start out. So, I mean, that's always the thing you got to keep in mind. It's just, you know, I think the thing is whether or not you're a big enough Fallout fan and whether or not enough of your friends are going to continue to play this game to keep you invested in the world, because we've had a lot of great games this year, and, you know, there's a lot of stiff competition out there. Will it find a space, I guess you could say?
Exactly.
And here, for sure.
Takes off.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's definitely doing something new. And don't get me wrong, I like refreshing some things in franchises. And this is definitely a bold new take, considering that, again, like, the way that you interact with the world is different. And
I want to talk about Bethesda because I don't play all their games, but let me just put this out here. And I'm a super fan of this big game because it was freaking amazing, Doom 2016. So if you guys remember how awesome that game was, the studio does have a pedigree behind it, and
they've got a very long pedigree, man. I mean, you hit Doom. I mean, hell, look at their Wolfenstein reboot.
Yeah.
And again, the Elder Scrolls series. Again, even if you're not a Fallout fan.
And I'm not fanboying for Fallout because, you know, I'm not a fanboy Fallout. I mean, I'm a fan of Fallout, but they do have, they've been around a long time, and they do have some like awesome games. I won't personally play it, but I think it'll be okay if it looks like shit to you. I guess that's a you problem, and you don't have to buy it at the end of the day. But I think it'll be okay. I think they'll figure it out. And this is the first Fallout that's been multiplayer, right? So, I mean, they'll get it figured out.
Well, one can hope, but all right. Anyways, moving on to other topics. Okay, so we are just a few days away from Xbox's X018 event. I know, finally, right, guys?
Yeah.
In Mexico City. And it's going to be about a 2-hour event where we expect to hear all kinds of new things from Microsoft's camp. Now, I'm just going to ask across the board, what do you guys think we'll be seeing, and what are your final predictions for this event? I mean, I'm trying to keep my expectations realistic as to what we're going to see because, I mean, this is an E3, but I do expect some surprises in there. Starting with, let's see, Ashtray, Mr. Ashtray Gaming. What do you think we'll be seeing? Do you think we'll see any surprises? What are your final predictions for this?
Well, I know everyone's sick of it, but I'm absolutely looking forward to Crackdown 3. Don't hate on me.
Yeah, no, just kidding.
Hey, bro,
everyone's sick of it.
I'm in your camp.
I've been looking forward to Crackdown 3 ever since it was announced, and I know I was like a lot younger then, less grey hair back then, but fuck,
what's it been like?
That game is going
since it was released. I mean, I talked about. Feels like it.
Yeah, man. But I played through a couple of months ago for the, I think, second or third time, and I just absolutely love that game. Didn't bother with 2. Everyone said it was just a rehash, so everything I've seen on 3, although we haven't really been shown the best of what it could be, because we won't mention those B or C grade actors that were showing it off, but we'll pretend that didn't happen. So that I'm really looking forward to. The other thing that I really hope happens, but I've been saying this on Twitter, I really want to see Odyssey to the West come to back compat. That game for me was my favorite 360 game, and by a theory, who I don't think I've ever made it if I'm wrong. So I really pray that we get that as back compat. Now, I've noticed I haven't heard anyone say anything about Cuphead DLC. I thought that was on the horizon, but no one's putting that in their predictions. So I'm really DLC. I haven't played the game yet. I will. I love platformers. I heard it's hard, which might result in a couple of broken controllers and maybe a possible smashed screen TV. But hey, that's fine. But I really hope they do announce something there on DLC for that. And there's going to be, or we're pretty calm sort of acquisition. Everyone's is most likely what it could be. I'm thinking maybe Crygen, the guys that did, what's it called? No, it's escaped me.
Are you talking about Crytek?
Yeah, that's them. Crytek.
With Crisis, like with Crisis and Rise?
Yes, that's the one. So doing very well financially, so they might be a good option to pick up. So probably brief, but they're the main things that I really want to see.
All right. No, a lot of those, you know what, those are pretty realistic, down to earth expectations. I mean, I think we'll definitely see some of that there. Definitely, we know we're gonna see Crackdown for sure. And yeah. I'm pumped for Crackdown. I mean, we've all been waiting for it forever, and I'm just stoked that we'll finally be able to see something. Noof Nukem, what are your thoughts? What are your final predictions on this matter, this event?
Yeah, I think, if anything, I'm going to have to go with you guys, not to be a copycat here, but it is quite possible we see something Crackdown related. Didn't Crackdown, I think that game was first announced when I was in puberty, but then again, my dick's always... No, look, I am excited. I really do want to see something about this game, so that is quite a possibility. Here's some other possibilities. I definitely think if there is smoke...
I just looked it up. It was announced in 1979.
Before I started thinning on top.
I was 3 years old back then. Just came out of the vault. My mom's vault.
6, bro.
That's right. I was born in 76. So there you go. I'm a Fallout 76 baby.
Not 69.
My dad was shooting the old fucking sperm missiles into the wife there, into the mother. Getting off track. Getting off track. Look, excited about Crackdown. Also, we can't forget about Rare. Rare's got more in their pipeline than just obviously Sea of Thieves. I mean, it's quite possible we see where some content might be going related to Sea of Thieves, because I don't think that game is finished by any means.
No, it's not.
Come to that. So that could be interesting. I definitely think, again, where there's smoke, there could be fire. We've heard rumblings of studio acquisitions. Would not be surprised if Phil and company didn't drop the official announcement of some studios, possibly Obsidian or what have you. You know, the other things we got to think of is games like Ori. We really haven't seen a lot of that one. So, Ori, some more footage of Ori. I definitely think it's quite a possibility we see, some Gears of War 5, quite possibly, because I know Rod and them have been hard work. And the little footage they showed off at E3, it obviously looks like there's quite a bit of polish on it already. So don't be surprised if they show that off. I definitely think there's going to be some surprises. But as I always say, guys, make sure you keep your expectations in check, because we've seen this many times where in our heads we got all this mumbo jumbo going on, and we think there's going to be this and something else, and then we don't see half of it, and then we're like, well, that was a terrible show. So you know, just keep that in mind. Keep your expectations in check. They're not going to blow the doors off the place, but I do think we're going to be in for a couple of pleasant surprises, and I think we're going to see some good footage of games we've already seen. So yes, and let's give a few shout outs to the chat guys who've been awesome hanging out with us. So Shizno Elite's up in the house, BZ McNasty, Fast back in here, Jago Kazama, another Jago's in the chat. That's
Jago
cool.
Kazama, that's my twin.
Here, our Rob is up in the house. We got Born Distracted in here as well. Goldshade Gamers, Mr. Sincere's in the house.
Yep.
We've had Mr. Boomstick XL. What's up, Boom? Sam Dellinger. The list goes on. There's so many. Obviously, thanks for coming out.
Indie Gamer. I know it's late, but yeah, you guys.
You guys being here.
Since we're doing shout outs, I'd like to shout out to P Underground, definitely Salty's Gaming, True Racer. You guys are awesome.
True Racer was in here. Damn, I missed him.
Yeah. He is or he was.
Oh yeah.
Tim is up in here. Tim Doss, what's going on, man? Another dude down on that.
Cyber Gunter.
Yeah, and everyone share your thoughts in the chat, like what you guys think, like what your predictions will be, like what do you guys definitely think we'll see at this event? You know, name off like one thing that you could see Microsoft showing off and try to be a little realistic. I know sometimes we go nutty on these things, but and have our heads in the clouds, but you know, give it a shot, right? All right.
In Canada, our head is probably in a weed cloud at the moment.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Proto, what are your thoughts on this matter? What do you think? What are your predictions for this show for Microsoft?
I guess I'm gonna, kind of play it safe like everybody else is. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna end up parroting everybody here and saying Crackdown. I think they're finally gonna show some
Crackdown.
Crackdown. You know, I'm at this point they better. You know, I mean, everybody's getting so worked up about it, and like I said, you know, when they announced this game, I wasn't thinning on top, so what the hell? I think they may, because I think we were talking a couple episodes back about how they announced like what keyboard and mouse compatibility now for the Xbox One. I think they may show that a bit more. I think that's a bit realistic because that's like functionality at this point. You know, that's not something where it's like people are expecting big AAA thing being knocked out of the park or anything. I think they'll show that because of functionality purposes. And I think that's pretty safe. To go with Noof, I think they may show a bit more of Gears 5. That would make sense. That's another safe thing. I doubt it would happen, but it would be beautiful to see maybe a bit more extended stuff on Halo Infinite if that's anywhere near that level where they can tease a little bit more, you know what I mean? Get people more excited for it, you know? But that's where I'm standing on that. I think they're obviously they're going to play it safe. It's like everybody's saying, they're not going to blow the doors off of this thing. You know, it's keep your expectations grounded. You know, you see Crackdown, I'm sure they'll talk about compatibility with the mouse and keyboard and maybe get a little Gears 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that would be fantastic. I think 343 already said, or at least a few people from 343 have said that there won't be any Halo Infinite there, unfortunately.
See, I missed that then, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would have liked there to be some. But, hey, you know, that's just the way it goes, and we'll have to wait a little longer for that stuff.
Yeah.
Who knows on the Gears front, though? Jago, what would you like to see, bro? And what are your predictions?
Oh, well, I got 4 games. Gears 5, Anthem, Scalebound, Killer Instinct 2, or Reboot, or whatever. That's the 5 or the 4 I'm looking forward to the most. I want to see some Gears 5, some Anthem, and I'm pretty sure Anthem's going to be there. And I know that's a wish, and like I hope, but I'm hoping Scalebound makes a return because that's one of the reasons why I bought the Xbox One in 2013 with Killer Instinct, and then a Killer Instinct, whatever the hell they're going to call it. I don't know because they done used every character from both original KI games and added new. But I want to see them continue that, you know, the KI. But I want to see all those games in some shape or form or fashion. And of course, we're going to see Crackdown. They've already said we're going to see Crackdown. Not the Crackdown we saw, what was it, 2 years ago with those morons playing multiplayer that couldn't even use it up, down, left or right and didn't know what they were like. They were fucking blindfolded.
Yeah.
Like, these guys you got playing fucking Crackdown right now. And they're probably going to announce, at this point, I don't give a shit, honestly, because they've announced enough studios, and it's going to take time. They can announce 5 more studios, you know, like they did at E3, but it's going to take time. I mean, if they announce 5 more studios at XO, it takes time to make a video game, people. And what pisses me off on Twitter is like, you know, Xbox got no games. You bought studios, but you still ain't got no games. Well, look, moron. It takes time to make a freaking video game, at least a 2 to 3 year development cycle. So shut the fuck up.
No, because they're all subscribing to the same thought process that, you know, Activision can shit out Call of Duty every freaking year, and, you know, EA can shit out Madden every.
I'm sorry, Proto. Right? I subscribe to fucking normalcy, okay?
Hey, don't yell at me, man. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
I understand, but we are, us on the panel, we understand. We are in the normal, the majority here. We understand we're video game fans. We understand how long it takes to make a video game. If you just bought a studio, it ain't coming out 2 weeks later, bro. Shut the fuck up.
Damn, I didn't think Jago was gonna get all fired up. Here I am just busting his ball.
It's the stupid negative shit you see. I'm an Xbox fan.
I agree. I'm an Xbox
fan first, and I started with Sega. You know, and I'm that. Yes. And he's well, your Xbox ain't got no games. You bought studios. Where's your games? Like, come on, man.
It's called the development cycle, right?
Yeah, common fucking sense. And at the end of the day, Microsoft is setting their ass up to beat the fuck out of Sony. And I don't want Sony to go out of business because I've had every PlayStation on demand. But I want Xbox to whoop their ass, let's be honest. I'm sorry, does I sound like a green fanboy right now?
A little.
May as well just tattoo an axe on your forearm or something.
Well, hey, competition's a good thing, you know.
It does, man. If another company's laying back and being lackadaisical and, like, you know, not bringing out anything, yes, and Microsoft stepped their game up, but they're not in games. At the end of the day, hardware's fantastic. Let's be honest. X is a beast, and I think Microsoft's got that nailed down. But at the end of the day, it's not hardware that makes the money. Is fucking software, and we can all as X fans admit that, and it's been lacking. But Microsoft has set themselves up to, like, seriously contend, or maybe even take over the top spot from Sony. Because let's be honest, Sony is kicking ass right now, and I'm an Xbox fan, and I can say that because I've played all their AAAs. That's about all I play on their console. But let's be honest, they got an edge. But the shit where I say, well, there's no games. Well, come on, man. Don't be fucking stupid. What'd you do? What, your mama fucking birthed you and you fall on your fucking head? Come on, man.
Well, you know, it's interesting, too, because Nintendo's starting to put out some games, too, now. You know, they seem to be doing pretty well with the Switch. I mean, Sony's in a comfortable lead. So, yeah, Xbox really needs to step up their game. And I hope that with this event that they showcase what's going to be coming in, like, let's say the next 6 months, for example, and then E3, we might get a glimpse at what the new stuff is. I
don't mean to cut you off, Invader, but one thing I want to say is about the Microsoft. Microsoft, and you reminded me, Microsoft did that whole thing where they want to announce games too early. Well, you know, like, we'll announce it with 3 months before it's coming out. You've got to announcing it, say 3 years before it comes out, like they did Scalebound, and then they canceled it because Platinum Games was like over there taking a vacation, sipping margaritas on their motherfucking money and not doing nothing on the game. But you can't announce. You need to announce a game at least a year out to get people excited. You know what I'm saying? Get them hyped.
I think Jaco's burnt up about Scalebound here.
No, yeah, you're right. No, you're exactly right. That burnt my fucking asshole because I bought Scalebound. Damn it.
It's okay. I am there with Jago too. I even have some Scalebound paraphernalia and merchandise too.
Damn.
Like,
damn.
Yeah. I'll show you some pics later.
So still on the IP. So
send me some pics. What was that, Jay?
I was saying Microsoft still own the IP, so it could come back at any time.
Well, yeah, and the game was almost done. It's just Platinum was fucking being lazy from what I remember hearing. So they own all the assets to the freaking game. That's why, and I know I'm probably being stupid right now, and they're probably not going to do it, but I'm hoping beyond hope they go, look, Ninja Theory, we gave this Ninja Theory, and it's coming out today.
That would be fucking awesome.
Oh my god, I would do backflips, and I'm too old to do backflips, dude. But I would record that.
Well, I'll tell
I
you
would
guys.
pay to see that.
This is what
Me too.
this is what I'm predicting that we'll see. Definitely Crackdown. They'll show it off with the precise date. They'll show off some State of Decay 2 DLC. They'll show off Forza's first expansion, Forza Horizon 4, that is. And we'll definitely get release dates for games that we've known about for a long time, like Ashen, Below.
Oh, yeah, Ashen, yeah.
Ori, and 2 and the Will of the Wisps. We haven't seen any We Happy Few DLC yet.
See, that's, go ahead.
No, I got a feeling we'll see that, and we're gonna see some backwards compatible titles. We got to at this point. Mouse and keyboard support for games like maybe Age of Empires and Gears Tactics. Maybe that would be a good place to announce it. Game Pass stuff like PUBG. I would not be surprised if they pulled that off. And the timing would be good too, with all these games coming out, like Black Ops 4, to reinvigorate the player base.
You get me started with Black Ops 4.
I will not. But hey, I would not be surprised if they teased a new game, though, because they got to have some kind of
Scalebound.
Yeah.
I would love Scalebound, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like a teaser for Ninja Theory's next game, because it's been in the pipes for at least a year or so.
Honestly, I think it's going to be Splinter Cell from all the shit we've been hearing. I mean, I'm a fanboy of Scalebound. I'll go and admit it, but I honestly think it's going to be Splinter Cell.
Yeah, there has been some indication that that Ninja Theory's next project might be a little bit further along than most people think. So
well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying, Noof. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, they made trademarks back, like going back more than a year ago, for titles called like Bleeding Edge and Upres. You can look them up too. They're right on there.
Well,
so.
I said this like on a Game Dosage, like right after E3. All these people that were like going, yeah, they made studio acquisitions. I'm like, yeah, they sure did, but there's still no games, and people go, no games, you just bought studios. You think the fucking ink was just dry when they walked out on stage and announced that shit? No, it happened months ago, or maybe even a year ago. But Microsoft's not going to tell you their inside dealings at the E3 stage. I mean, hell, they could have bought fucking Ninja Theory a year before they announced it at E3. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, Jago. You never know. Moving on. So, at like early in this gen, one of my favorite games was Sunset Overdrive, and I loved everything from the open world, the enemies, the dialogue, and so forth. I was really engrossed in it. However, the sales for it, though, they just didn't exactly light up the world on fire, to my dismay, even though like the game was loved by many people and people still talk about it to this day. Recently, the American ESRB has rated Sunset Overdrive for Windows PC specifically. Now, with X018 approaching and Microsoft's drive for Game Pass and PC, panel, do you expect Sunset Overdrive PC announcement coming along? Do you think we'll see it coming at this event? So, beginning with Proto Foxy, what do you think we'll see? Do you think we'll hear an announcement?
I think so. I would definitely think so. The fact that they've applied for it and for Microsoft Windows, that's a no-brainer at that point. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't done it already.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever played Sunset or not?
No, believe it or not, I have not. I've heard good things. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I was kidding.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Go ahead and razz me on it. This is one of these ones that it's like I keep meaning to, and just haven't gotten around to it yet because of the
Xbox has too many games. You can't play all of them.
We got no games. What the fuck? We got no games.
and then one of these days I'll have to share in the DMs the picture of my backlog. It's just ridiculous. I still got stuff going back to like PS2 that I haven't beaten yet.
Dude, if you haven't played Sunset Overdrive, I'm not going to say it's going to set your world on fire, but it's a really good game. It's a rememberable game.
That's what I'm told. It's not
one of those like reboots of something. That's not a Last of Us type game, let's say. I think it comes to my mind right now.
Last of Us is a must play. But I get that. But I'm told it's definitely one of those ones that I sit down and I'm gonna enjoy and keep coming back to.
It's a very expansive, like open world that I remember. I played it. It's been so long since I played it, but it's like a good time game. Like you sitting at the bar with your buddies and you're having a good time. It's like one of those games. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I definitely get it. And the fact that, like I said, that they haven't announced it for PC, I think we'll see the announcement coming here real soon, and that'd make me happy because then, I can actually enjoy it then.
No,
me too, man.
Oh, it's good, Proto, believe me. Mr. Noof Nukem, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think we'll see an announcement coming soon?
Again, it's possible. The great game, though, Sunset Overdrive, probably one of the most critically overlooked games that we've seen in the last couple of years. It's pretty bad, too, when it came out for free, like last year. I think it was sometime on Games with Gold, and still some people didn't pick it up. It's like, how the hell did you not pick it up when it was on that platform that you could test it out? I mean, I bought a copy. I think it was like day one when it first came out.
Yep, me too.
Now, in the same sentence, I can honestly say I never finished it yet. It's on my backlog, and I just, for some reason, it just got smothered with a bunch of other games, and especially when you're a multiple console owner, like I am, trying to find the time, energy, just to play games at times, it's nuts. So I do need to go back and complete that game. It's on my to-do list, but it is fantastic. If it comes out at this point, though, does anybody even give a shit? You know what I mean? That's the key, right? Because there's so many games out right now. So if it does come out, honestly, does that market even care? It definitely deserves a sequel. I think it was definitely
it did.
Game. Lots of people loved. Lots of reviewers loved it. Thought a lot about it, but unfortunately, like I said, I don't know, it was a misfire in the marketing, or maybe it just looked too cartoony for some people, or what. But it did have a great pedigree, and a lot of that groundwork that was laid for Sunset went into Spider-Man's development, as you could definitely tell, because it borrowed heavily from that game, as we kind of already knew that it would. So it's an interesting scenario, but who knows what's going to happen.
Exactly. And I would love to see this, if it does come to fruition, like hopefully it drives Microsoft and Insomniac to make a Sunset Overdrive 2, because Insomniac really wants to make one. Ashtray, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think we'll see something coming soon?
I think I came out, so I was still on through before that, and everyone was always at Overdrive and how good a game of. So when I made sure I bought a few games, but that was one of them. The trouble is, because I couldn't get into it, was that I actually came off playing all the Halos from the Master Chief Collection one after another for like 3 months straight or whatever it was, then tried to jump in. And I don't know, I think my body, my mind was all set to go into the game. So I need to revisit it myself and try and give it another chance. For giving games shit, I played what's that game called again?
Sunset Overdrive.
No, that's time-altering game. Quantum Break. I played that.
Break, yeah.
Yeah, and then I played it again straight up. Enjoyed it the second time around. So I'm definitely willing. I think they wouldn't be, because the PC, and I reckon they're going to do cross as an option for that. See what PC might be good if the adoption rate is green light it too. So maybe they're trying to test the waters and just see if PC gamers are interested.
No, definitely. I mean, they got to do something. I like the fact that they would do something with it than nothing, right? So hopefully we can see more come to fruition from this. Jago, my friend, my fellow Sunset Overdrive fan, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is real, and could it lead to something else? Jago
agrees, apparently.
No.
Someone's finally shut him up. Oh my god.
Damn you, button. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I don't give a shit if it comes to PC because I have never, ever played a game on PC, and I don't plan on starting.
Not even the original Doom games? Not
nope,
even Command &
nope,
Conquer?
nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
Total sacrilege.
No, it's not. No, it's not. As a console player, no. I had so many like people back in the day when I was young saying, "Yo, PC's better." This is like when I was like 10. PC, like I was a console player. I told you, so like from day one. And they were like, PC's better. And it might have been back then, but I'm like, I am Sega. I am Atari. Get the fuck off me, bro. I don't care. So I am the truest console fan you will ever meet. That you guys, you didn't know that about me. I've never ever tried a game on PC, and I don't give a shit. I don't.
And you're missing out on a game called Wacky Wheels back in the day.
Well, see that.
Oh my god!
And
it was so good.
And you know what?
You remember that?
And I may have, but I am the purest console fan you will ever meet in your life. I've only played games on console. So when I hear this is coming out for PC, I mean it's good. I mean it's good for the PC guys, but I don't want to play PC with X, Y, A, B, C, and D. I'm sorry, and mouse. I'm sorry. I'm over that. And I know, like, oh, you can play with a controller. I'm sorry. I learned to play video games sitting. Honestly, this is how I learned. On the floor with my console TV with the wood grain around it, sitting on my floor with the Sega Genesis above it or my NES above it, and sitting on the floor in my parents' house and enjoying video games that way. And I graduated when I got older to sitting in my recliner because I watched my dad. My dad always sat in the recliner. You know, you kind of learn things from your parents. You know, like recliners are comfortable. So my dad sleeping in a recliner. I was like, it must be comfortable. So I learned that. So now I sit in a recliner and I play video games on my 65-inch TV. I gives a shit to sit at a damn desk and play video games on a 24 or 28-inch monitor sitting straight up in a racing chair. I'm sorry. And they look cool as shit on a YouTube video. I'm like, oh, Twitch, oh, I got a fucking racing chair. Where are you?
Off your man boobs in front of a camera and people in the mixer?
I fuck about if you know me, I'm physical, and now you know why I'm a hardcore console guy. I am only console guy. But
man, I hook my PC up to my HD TV and it looks just fine. But okay.
I hooked my old lady's vibrator up to my fucking 65-inch TV, and all I did was fucking vibrate the motherfucker. So I don't know.
That sounds like a jackass video in the making.
All right.
But I hear that, I'm not in that realm, never have been, don't care to be, never will, don't care. Because I have real life bills to pay and I buy consoles and I don't have time for PCs. I don't need a PC in my line of work. I have been doing my line of work for almost 20 years. I do hardwood floors for a living. I want to come home. I'm one of those guys you're here like Dealer or Invader. Anybody here on this, sometimes you'll say like, you want to come home, you sit down, you just chill, and you want to play a video game, ease of use, put your game in your console, and you just go. Mm-hmm. I am the epitome of that. That is me. That's why I don't make like YouTube videos. If I make a YouTube video, it's on PlayStation 4 or on Mixer, and I'm putting it on this and putting it back on that to put it back on YouTube. But at the end of the day, I don't really have time. But for PC guys, that's awesome for you. If you missed out on Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive is one of the best early launch titles on the Xbox One. Fat Boy is only 720p console machine, blah, blah, blah. 1080p makes you a better gamer, whatever. And Alpha makes you a better gamer now.
So he's saying this is going to be good for me then, right?
Yes. If you're excited.
First white Xbox One came with Sunset Overdrive bundle in.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I'm kind of like Noof. He had it. Yeah, I think you said you didn't beat it, right?
He beats it all the time.
Yeah. I actually bought it day one like Noof. I actually beat it. the game, not my meat, and then and then I
did that later. That's the postscript.
But then I bought it, or I got it again because I was like, "Holy shit! Xbox Live Gold is giving it away." So when I sold it, I was like, "Holy shit! I can get it back." So I immediately downloaded it again. And the only reason I did that was, sold Sunset Overdrive not because I hated the game, it's because I needed the money for something else. And I regretted it, but now I got it on, digitally, and it will always be there as long as I haven't turned those damn servers off. But let's be honest, one of these days they're going to turn all servers off to everything digital, and then we're going to be fucked. But that's just me. But good for you guys. Get on PC if you never played it.
Hey, Jago, here's an interesting video concept for you. You got that one-up arcade machine, which is just over like 3 feet tall. You can actually stand up now and try to beat Street Fighter by playing it with your dick.
I gotta take the riser off of it first. Just sit right beside me, dude. Here.
All right, fellas. Moving on to probably our last topic of the evening. So recently, EA released a Battlefield 5 roadmap for its content and DLC coming further down the line. And as it's expected, we'll be getting new maps and other goodies. However, it looks like Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode, Firestorm, will be delayed to at least March. So that's about 4 or 5 months away at the very least. And this is unexpected, as many thought that the mode would ship with the game. Panel, what are your thoughts on this matter? Should we be concerned about Battlefield 5 and the Firestorm mode? Starting with Ashtray.
I actually have never played a Battlefield game in my life.
What?
I know. But shit, man. In saying that, though, I think delays for games, whether it's a full game delay or a part of the game, is always a good thing, because games, should come out as, and I think that better benefits us as consumers to have a game that's gonna work when it's on. So I wouldn't be concerned anyway for it, like I'm not with Crackdown, and just another Crackdown reference there. But yeah, so no, I think it's a good thing, and more times the better. It only benefits us.
Oh yeah.
All right. Good points. Noof Nukem, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think we should be concerned about this, or is this just them fine-tuning things?
Hey, this gets 2 toilet bombs out of 10 on this topic, but yeah. Battlefield 5, right? This is the one you're going to get a lot of varied opinions on, right? Because some people are very excited about Battle Royale mode, and look, delays are often good. I mean, if they got to delay it, they got to delay it. I don't think it's going to make a big difference whether Battle Royale comes out for them in the first month of release or it comes out 6 months of release. People that love that game are going to play it. They're going to flock to it. In a lot of cases, the Battle Royale mode might actually help to sell more copies of that game. You know what I mean? But as far as I'm concerned personally, I do have a soft spot for the franchise. I mean, I do like the Battlefield franchise for the most part. Number 3 was probably the game that I really liked. I like number 3 more than 4. From a story perspective, and I like those games. They're different than Call of Duty. Let's make that clear. But World War, the first game, like last year, Battlefield 1. By the way, guys, that's free on Xbox Live Games and Gold. If you never had a great time to download it and play it. But again, it's just one of those things. I could really care less. I like the franchise, but I'm not super cooped on it. It's one of those things. I'm just a little worn out on the World War theme anyway right now. So it doesn't matter what they do, in my opinion, because I don't think I'm going to pick up a copy of this game. It's if people love the game, go out and support it. I mean, I do like World War II much better than the World War I. I mean, the weapons itself, the technology by that era was certainly a lot better than the first era. But again, it's still, when you compare it to a lot of the games that are out there now, it just seems kind of antique, of a better word. And I'm just not really interested in going back to that sort of time period, especially after Battlefield 1. feels like a little overkill for me. So, I mean, if it makes the game all and and people are hungry for their, so it could do the game justice.
No, exactly. So yeah, no, I definitely see what you're saying there. Jago, what are your thoughts on this? Are you concerned for Battlefield?
My only thing with their battle royale mode, that's what it is the market is so saturated right now with Fortnite and PUBG and now Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and I have a thing with Call of Duty Black Ops 4 if you support it and bought it day one, because that's telling developers you don't need a campaign. But anyway, that's my only thing is if they're delaying it, it may have a hard time because let's be honest, Call of Duty is Call of Duty. You got Call of Duty. There's like hardcore Call of Duty fans that always follow it, and Call of Duty, just the name sells. It sells, and I'm kind of like Noof. I prefer Battlefield. Battlefield 3 was like one of my favorite games in the Battlefield series. It was fucking phenomenal. Battlefield 4 was a broken mess at launch, but they fixed it. But I just think market penetration for the Battle Royale mode, whatever the hell it's called, I don't remember right now, for Battlefield 5, it's some kind of, you said it, but it's like some kind of crazy name. It's Battle Royale. Firestorm. I mean, but whatever. I think the market penetration for the Battlefield 5 Battle Royale mode it's going to be tough, because you're competing against these hard, and I've met them. You got 40-year-olds, you got people my age, you got kids playing Fortnite, and you got people still playing PUBG. I don't know how many. I don't look it up because I really don't give a shit. But you got people playing Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, their Battle Royale mode. I just think the delay may cost them some market share. And let's be honest, it's all about making money. And the more people you have interacting with your game on a daily basis, it basically makes you more money. So that's my only my concern. Battlefield 5, I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up, but for me, it's a more preferred platform or game for me. Yes, but like I said, the delay may cost them market share or their share into the market if they delay it like they are. But we'll see. I mean, you never know. Fortnite's a juggernaut though, so I don't think nobody's going to beat that. And I've said that many times, months and months ago.
No, exactly. I see exactly what you're saying, Jago. Proto Foxy, I don't know if you've been keeping tabs on the whole situation, but what do you think of this? Are you concerned for the Firestorm mode and Battlefield 5 as a whole? What are your thoughts?
Well, first off, yeah, I have been. I'm actually, again, I'm probably going to be the odd man out tonight. Because I am looking forward to Battlefield 5, like really, really looking forward to it. But as far as Firestorm goes, as far as their Battle Royale mode, I don't care. I'm just, Battle Royale, it's a mode. It's fine. Yeah, I get what Jago's saying. You're definitely going to miss the market by delaying it. But for me, that's not going to sway my dollars as far as picking the game up anyway, because I'm going to get it. I like the Battlefield series. I actually really love Battlefield 1.
No, I do too, man. I prefer Battlefield over Call of Duty.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I can see, again, I like Jago said, I can see the point where it's like, okay, you're missing the opportunity by delaying it until, what did they say? It was March, correct?
Yes, that's a long time.
Well, at the very earliest, yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time, considering that you got, like you said, Fortnite, PUBG, Call of Duty, all these games that are doing the whole Battle Royale thing. You're missing the boat. I mean, will they completely miss the boat? Will Battle Royale be, passé come March? No, absolutely not. But yeah, I think that'll hurt them as far as their Battle Royale mode goes, the Firestorm mode. But for me personally, I don't care. I could care less about Battle Royale modes. It's a mode. I'm not big in playing multiplayer anyway, and particularly not multiplayer modes where you're going to have 60 or however many people in there that have been playing the game since launch.
A lot of people bit Splatoon. It's only 65 people, right? In Battle Royale mode on that. Yeah, who gives a shit?
Well, right. And then on top of it, for me, like I said, and 100% of those people have been playing the game nonstop since launch. I'm sure they were sitting on their couches or in their computer chairs or whatever in diapers, so they don't have to get up and go to the bathroom, just so they can prestige up and shit. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's just a ridiculous amount of it. Here I am casually, if I'm going to go online and play something multiplayer. I mean, if I'm going to go and play something casually, and all of a sudden I'm teabagged by some 10-year-old in Zimbabwe because I didn't play the game enough, it's like, screw that. I mean, for me personally, I don't care. Delay it for however long, but I can see the point as far as the marketing and the dollar goes.
Yeah, it may hurt them for their dollar, but at the end of the day, who gives a fucking flying motherfucker? I mean, I'm being honest.
Well, here's the thing, me personally, I am concerned for Battlefield 5. I've been watching the controversy ever since they first unveiled this game. And yeah, I'm concerned for the lack of content in the game. I know they're going to have free content further down the road, which is very good. I applaud them for having free DLC. The thing is, right off the bat, when it releases, there's a lack of war stories, like single player campaign at the beginning. They have 9 multiplayer maps.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think what I've seen too, and I agree with you, Invader. I think one of Battlefield 5's biggest problems is Call of Duty did it better last year with the whole World War II thing. Honestly,
but see, when you look at their version of it at Battlefield 5, it's like kind of like almost an alternate take. It's got like a steampunk kind of vibe to it.
Yeah,
but it's not.
But there's a lot of people who prefer that traditional.
Well, absolutely. I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. I think Call of Duty did it better last year, and I'm a Battlefield fan more so than Call of Duty. But I played Call of Duty World War II last year. I bought it. That was,
I have it. Yeah,
it was back to boots on the ground. Then I see this whole. I don't know what they're trying to do with Battlefield 5. I do, but I don't at the same time. I'm like, it's convoluted at the same time, and give me. And a lot of people give me a straight, story trailer or a campaign trailer, and explain it to me that way. And then the Battlefield 5 was sometimes all over the place. And if you confuse people, and convolute it too much, you're gonna lose them. You're gonna fucking lose them.
True.
Honestly, I think that once they saw what Black Ops 4's blackout mode was, and they saw that it was getting pretty, they saw a lot of good things there, that they looked at Firestorm and they thought, oh, I don't know, it might not have had enough stuff in it. I don't know, but I think they were taking it back to the drawing board enough that it had to be delayed this many months. And that's sad because I was expecting it to be a part of that product as it first released.
Well, Battlefield 5, I think Invader was trying to do. I mean, they saw what Call of Duty did last year, and I think they were trying to do something different. And I think they've kind of skewed where they kind of got away from attracting the fans because they're trying to do something different.
I think they've burnt a lot, a fair proportion of their core base because of the really bad messaging at first.
Yep.
And the marketing. And I think the content just shows a lack of content, unfortunately. And I liked Battlefield 1 and I liked Battlefield 4. I mean, I thought Battlefield 1, I had gripes with it for sure. And it was buggy at times, but I enjoyed it. I liked the ideas in it. And Battlefield 5, me personally, I feel disappointed. And I feel disappointed with this Firestorm mode. And for it to be delayed that far off, and we saw it at Gamescom, I was like, I don't know, I thought it was going to be a more finished product. And in all honesty, I hope that they learn from this and that we get something a little more solid. And I hope that Bad Company 3's in the works by now, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they need to take a break.
That would be rad. Bad Company 3.
Yeah, do Bad Company 3. I think they need to take a break.
I think if you wanted to win back the Battlefield audience, you would see a lot of people come back for that. But yeah, anyways, I think that wraps up another episode of the Game Dosage Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for coming to watch, listen, and participate. You know, excellent, lively chat going on as always, guys. You know, we all appreciate you for watching, listening, and just showing up. Don't forget to smash that like button before you leave. And hey,
button.
Yes, smash that, give it a good thumbing. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to go to the outro, starting off with our guest, Ashtray Gaming. And before we go, we were expecting Trinity Warrior to make an appearance, but unfortunately, I got a message from her saying that she could not make it, unfortunately. Oh, and before I forget, too, Miss Foxy, Lady Foxfire, she shot me out a Foxy deal to get 10% off Battlefield 5 Deluxe Edition with EA Access, Origin Access, and stack another 10% off if you buy it through Battlefield 1.
Nice.
So thank you very much, Foxy, for those Foxy deals. That's always appreciated. If anybody's interested, definitely check out Lady Foxfire's tweet on that, and check out if you're interested in Battlefield. And again, without further ado, Ashtray Gaming, where can everybody find you, bud? And thank you very much for being on the show.
Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. It was my first ever time, so it was an experience. And you can find me everywhere under Ashtray Gaming. It's been Twitter, Xbox Live, and thanks to Diego, Newf, Proto, and Invader. And I'm going to get back to playing.
Nice.
Nice. Well, again, thank you very much, Ashtray. We'll definitely have you back on sometime soon.
Most definitely.
And yeah, you know, it's such a nice positive force in the community. It's great having you on. Next up, Mr. Noof Nukem. Please tell us your details, my friend.
Boom, boom, kaboom. It's time for Noof to leave the room. Yes, another good podcast tonight. Great panel as always. Thanks to Invader for taking up the hosting duties, to Jago, to Proto Foxy, and our special guest, Ashtray Gaming Trinity. Hopefully you can make it another time. Hopefully we get our regular panel members back here in the near future as well. So love go out to Primal Eve. I guess he's had a few health issues and is supposed to get some sort of surgery. I don't know the specifics and I don't care to ask, but we do wish Primal all the best. And Glitcher, of course, who's a good dude, been going through a lot of shit himself over the last little while. So hopefully he's getting better and feeling well. But I think it was just other commitments took him away tonight. But anyway, about myself, guys, obviously you can find me here. This is my regular podcast weekly. So this is the only place you can find me outside of Tuesday nights, in case you didn't know, when I do Goofing with Noof. Episode 2 is coming up tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be 9 Central. Sorry, did I say no? 9 Eastern Time, 8 Central, 7. No, I still got that wrong because I do it after. I do it
7, 8, 9 Central.
Damn it! Yes,
It's at that time.
10 o'clock Eastern. Okay, so basically, what RDX wraps up. Shout out to the crew over there at RDX with Dealer and them. But when they wrap up, I'll be starting it. Episode 2, the first one went off really, really well. Surprisingly, I had a great list of people show up in the chat.
I was there.
You were there, yes, indeed. A few of you guys were there, as well as a lot of the people from the chat tonight. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night. Try to keep it entertaining, fast as always. Got some good topics that I'm going to be diving into. And over the next couple of weeks, I'll be bringing some guests onto that particular little podcast as well. But anyway, to all the chat, to the panel, guys, you're fantastic. Make sure you take those prescriptions for your gaming addictions. We'll be back again next week. Have a great night, everybody. Catch you soon. Kaboom! Noof out.
All right, that was fantastic. Kaboom! He always knows how to make an entrance and an exit. All right, Jago, my friend, where can everybody find you?
Well, it's your guy, your boy, your twisted ninja, two-faced. He doesn't know where he's going, left or right. Doesn't know if he's evil or nice. It's your boy, Jago. I want to say thank you to the panel. Thank you to the chat. Thank Ashtray for coming on tonight. You can find me, and as always, you can find. I want to say I hope Primal's doing okay. Shout out to her and Glitcher. He's a good guy. Just prayers for them. I don't know what his deal is, like Noob said, but it's not my business. But anyway, you can find me on Xbox Live, Twitter, and YouTube at Jago Coogan, and you can find me on YouTube at the same name. And yeah, that's it. Oh, Instagram, same name. But yeah, thanks guys, and chat. You're awesome. Panel, awesome. Thank you.
All right, and everyone is awesome. All right, and Proto Foxy, where can everyone find the Red Mega Man Addict?
Proto Foxy is getting ready to power down and recharge and jump back into some different Mega Man here. Great show tonight. Great chat as usual. Ashtray, thanks for sharing the stage with us. It was great having you here. Much love to Primal. Get better soon. I don't know her situation, but I know about the whole surgery kind of thing. It's definitely not a fun thing to deal with. So Godspeed and speedy recovery. Glitcher, get your ass back over here already. Otherwise, you're going to find me here Monday nights. If you're wanting to hit me up and play a game, I'm on the PSN as Happy Emo Puncher. I'm on Steam as Wicked Lance. You can find me on Twitter as Foxy Proto. And I heard Jago laughing about my Steam tag. Just Steam in general. PC Master Race. PC Master Race.
Oh, damn it.
I got all the consoles here too. And then, like I was saying, Twitter is Foxy Proto because it's backwards and it just doesn't want to correct it. And YouTube, Proto Foxy, and that's where you're gonna find me.
All right, that was fantastic. And of course, everyone, you can find me on this channel, Invader Gaming, and you can reach me on Twitter at Invader_1986. It's been a wicked show. We had some really great discussions. And again, Ashtray, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's, it was fantastic. We'll definitely have you back on. Everyone send a lot of love to Primal Eve. And,
Glitcher, send him some love too.
I was gonna say Glitcher, send the corpse some love too. The corpse.
Stinky needs to get back here, dig himself up out of the grave.
Well, Corpsey's in a sticky situation right now, so.
Right. No, I know. I'm just.
Oh, again, everybody. Thank you for stopping by, and thanks for listening. It's been great. Peace out.
Later, guys.
Later.
Peace.